So if you don't want your zucchini to get soggy, you can just chop it up and prep it that way and fry it as you use it. Or you can actually freeze what you put in the processor, so that way you can use it in your pancakes. It's really, really good. Just like zucchini bread, you can thaw it out, put it in there, and it's the moisture that really makes the pancakes really good, just like the same purpose for zucchini bread. Okay, celery. Celery has many uses. It's an aromatic, which means you can use it to flavor things because the smell, the aroma that comes off of it when you steam it in something really flavors it. So you can use it for broth and soups and many other things. I like to use it for a mirepoix for my roasted turkey or roasted chicken. It tastes really, really good. So I rinsed my celery, and I actually bought a whole stalk, but I didn't rinse this off yet because I don't want it to wilt. I'm only going to use a little bit of celery for my meal planning because you're only supposed to have 2 medium stalks for serving the vegetable. I like to switch it up, so I'm only going to cut what I need for the week and keep the rest for next week. It will actually keep for quite a while. So I'm going to cut it all at once, line it up, that way you're not wasting a lot of time. Some of them are longer than others, so just make sure you line it up accordingly so you're cutting off the dirty ends. Although I rinsed it, the ends are still pretty dirty. Okay, and then you can leave it that length, or you can cut it in half again and eat it that way. So you just portion it out into your containers. Okay, the next thing I want to explain is preparing salads. So when you're doing the salads, usually if you buy spring mix, baby spinach, romaine, in the bags or the packages, they're already pre-washed. You don't have to worry about washing them. But if you're getting a head of lettuce, I recommend romaine, kale, or like Bibb lettuce. Something with a darker green color is better because it'll have more nutrients in it. Iceberg lettuce is mostly water, so it's not really going to do much for you vegetable-wise. I don't recommend that. So you can buy these cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, and you can build your salads up. If you buy the bigger tomatoes, it's going to make everything mushy. You can definitely do that, but just make sure you separate it a little bit so it's not getting your whole salad soggy. So what you're going to want to do is rinse these and dry them before you add it to everything else. And then you slice up whatever else you're going to put in your salad. You can do cucumbers, peppers, radishes. I like to actually roast beets. You peel the beet and wash it off, and then you slice it so that it's a whole circle. You roast it in your oven with a little bit of olive oil for maybe 15 to 20 minutes, just so they're soft. And then you can keep them in your refrigerator and add them to your salad. So that's a really good addition to the salad. It gives it a little bit of sweetness. And for dressing, you want to make your own dressing. It's so easy. All you have to do is have either balsamic vinaigrette or red wine vinegar. You can make balsamic vinaigrette with balsamic vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, and a little bit of seasoning. You can make an Italian dressing with red wine vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, and the inside of tomatoes. Just the gooey part. You don't really want the outside part. You can blend it all up if you don't want to waste anything, or you can put the gooey part in the dressing and the skin, the harder flesh part in your salad. So it's a double use. You want to make sure you use everything. And then you add a little bit of lemon juice, and you add a little bit of agave nectar to give it a little bit of sweetness because there's a lot of acid in there. And then you can put your Tuscan seasoning in, and it's really, really good. Honey mustard dressing is easy to make, and like I showed you with the rotisserie chicken, instead of using mayonnaise, you can use honey mustard dressing for your chicken salad. And then you can keep that in a bowl and use it as you need it. Or you can already portion it out to use it as you need it. It's completely up to you how you want to meal prep. So for salads, you could use a mason jar, or you can just use bowls, whatever is convenient for you is what I would do. Also, Amazon has really awesome containers that have little compartments for you to meal prep your whole meal. So the next thing that I want to show you is being efficient when you're cooking. So you're going to want to boil your brown rice or your jasmine or basmati rice. And then you have a big bowl of it, and you can season it differently throughout the week, or you can eat it plain. It's completely up to you. I really like to do lime and cilantro rice with things that have salsa, or like things with my chicken. So if I'm going to do like a black bean and corn burrito with rice on the side, if I want to do all my carbs at once, you know, it's completely up to you how you want to meal prep individually. I'm just giving you some tips to help you figure it out. So yeah, boil all of your rice at once for the week, and then portion it out. You can either flavor it all, or you can do it as you go. Another tip, you can do hard-boiled eggs. Now, this I got at Walmart. It's a steamer on the top, and then the bottom obviously you use for boiling. So I put my eggs to boil down there, and then I chop up whatever vegetable I want to steam. I can do cauliflower, carrots, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, you know, whatever vegetable that you're choosing for that, for your portions, and do it all at once. Then when you're cooking your meats, you can do that all at once as well. So say you're going to do chicken for the entire week, but you want it different ways. You roast all of your chicken at once, and then you flavor it individually. Especially with reheating, sometimes the microwave can kill nutrients, so if you reheat it in the oven, that's a great way to flavor it. Just make sure you don't overcook it, because it will dry out. The best way to cook chicken to keep the moisture in it is to cover it, put a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan, cover it with foil so the moisture stays in, number one. Number two, you want the oven temperature to be 400 or 425, and you only cook it for about 20 minutes until it's just not pink inside. So that way when you reheat it, it's not going to dry out. If you're going to do steak, the best way to lock flavor into steak is to grill it or sear it first on top of the stove, and then cook it in the oven on a low temperature for a long amount of time, but you need to eat it that night. So what I do if I'm meal prepping steak is I sear it or grill it, and then I cut it, and then I marinate it in my refrigerator. That's how I prep my steak. So it'll be marinating, and then I'll pull it out as I need it. It's great in salads. You can make steak fajitas really fast that way. I find it really works. So the inside's still going to be pretty rare when you just sear it on the outside or grill it on the outside, and then you chop it up and marinate it. So you're going to want to cook it in the oven and make sure it comes up to at least 155 degrees. Okay, so that's pretty much all I can show you for meal prepping for now. If you have any other questions or want to see something, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to show you. Just make sure you have things that are easy to grab and go. You can even portion out, you can go as far as to put a little cup of almond butter or peanut butter next to your celery. You can portion out your dry ingredients, like if you're going to add seeds or nuts to something, portion those out, get little containers. I mean, I love these 21-day fix ones. This is the lid for the size of the seeds and nuts. So I mean, they're really tiny, easy to fit into your cabinets. So you can just grab in there and get things. For my treats, you can make cookies, and you can make pumpkin pie bites. Those freeze and keep really well. So if I want to switch out one of my carbs for one of the cookies, which I make with almond flour, so it's not, you know, sugary, it's not flour, it's not processed, it's just ground up almonds, and I use maple syrup instead of sugar, and you know, the ingredients are healthier. It's a cleaner option. So I can switch it out for one of my carbs for that day, and I can still feel good and not be guilty, but have my cravings satisfied. And that's usually only around a certain time of the month for us women. That way you get those crazy cravings. If you're not really a sugar person, you don't have to worry about that. You can have, multiple snacks available to yourself with fruit and vegetables, hard-boiled eggs, and seeds are a really good one. Sunflower seeds are a great snack to have. One of the magical fruits that I recommend are dates. They keep for a long time, and you can buy a big package if you use them a lot. For instance, some of the recipes I use for baked goods actually call for dates to sweeten it. So I buy the big package, but if you don't eat a lot of them, usually a typical serving size for dates is 4 to 5. So you'd want to buy a smaller package. They keep for quite a long time. You can keep them up in your cabinet. So those are my tips for planning your week. Make sure that you are making it easy on yourself as possible, planning your days according to your schedule, because everybody's going to be different. Thank you.